Hey everybody, welcome back to the Sixer Sense podcast. I'm your host, Lucas, with Chris. I missed you, buddy.
Missed you too, Lucas. It's been a while. We had holiday things going on.
I got sick on Christmas Day. Hooray!
Yeah, that's not fun.
No, it was a very bad stomach bug, and that is all that I can say without being too descriptive.
Yeah. I think we can leave it at that.
Yeah, nobody wants to hear that when we're talking about basketball and Sixers basketball, and there's a lot of good that's happened lately.
That's right. All right,
the jersey's out for a reason, guys. The jersey's out, and it's not just because the Sixers are winning; it's because Joel Embiid's, dare I say, finally starting to look like himself on both ends of the ball.
Sixers might be good, Lucas.
They might. I don't know if I can get myself there emotionally.
Yeah, that's the thing. We're going to talk about the last three games because I want to talk about the Knicks game.
Of course you do.
Happy New Year to all our wonderful listeners. We really appreciate you. My New Year's resolution is for the Sixers to win even more games. That's how that works.
To be fair, I think we've already won more games this year than we did last year, like altogether. So
yeah,
we are doing good on that resolution. My resolution is for the Sixers to not disappoint me before like the conference finals.
Yeah, well,
we'll talk. I don't
feel as good about that. All right, Knicks game, Lucas, 130 to 119. The Sixers went into MSG. Dominated really the second and third quarter stretch, won this game pretty comfortably. The standout on the evening was Tyrese Maxey with 36 points and 8 rebounds with 4 assists and a steal. The other standout was Mr. VJ Edgecombe, 26 points, 4 assists, and played some pretty awesome defense, had 4 stocks, 26 for Joel, 15 for Paul George, 10 off the bench for Quentin Grimes. New York, really sad for them that they couldn't show up on their home court. Really feel bad about that.
I'm sure you do.
31 for Jalen Brunson, who is the definitely a very ethical basketball player. 23 for Karl Anthony Towns, 12 for Miles Bridges, 19 for OG Anunoby. 20 off the bench, though, with 5 made threes in 31 minutes for Deuce McBride.
West Virginia, let's go Mountaineers.
I must concede, is pretty awesome. I like Deuce McBride. It's a sad world. All right, Lucas.
Maybe one day he'll be a Sixer.
Maybe one day. We're holding out hope. What were your big takeaways from this game, Lucas?
First off, that the Knicks have no answer for Tyrese Maxey or VJ. Joel still owns Cat, and the fact is that and this has kind of become a trend. Is Paul George just like a max paid? Is the new Tobias Harris? I mean, I don't hate it as a fourth option. I mean, I'd rather not be spending that much money on a fourth option, but at least like it's a clear pathway of, okay, you're number 4, and it's okay that you kind of aren't like who you were anymore.
Yeah, I would say he's much better than Tobias Harris.
I think he does different things. Yeah.
He's a better version of Tobias, which, based on what happened last year, I think is a pretty good outcome. Yeah, Lucas. I mean, look, VJ has, this was Jalen's best offensive performance against us this season. We've already played him 3 times, but even so, VJ's defense, especially late in games, has been pretty spot on. He's also just, super clutch in a way that most rookies are not. He's just taking pull-up threes in traffic late in games under pressure and drilling them pretty consistently. He's been one of the best clutch scorers in the NBA percentage-wise this year. Hit 4 threes in this game. I feel like the Rookie of the Year race is kind of turning back around. I don't think VJ's going to win.
But he's going to finish in the top 3.
I think it's still Khan and Cooper.
But VJ's solidified him. Well, yeah, I would say unless Derek Queen has a second half eruption, I think VJ's solidly in the 3rd spot. So yeah,
I would agree. I mean, he hit a little bit of a wall there pretty early, and then he's turning it back around. I think some of us are maybe concerned that he was just going to sort of fall by the wayside a little bit, but he's back. He's playing awesome. He led the team in minutes in this game. He is number 2 this year in terms of point differential per 100 possessions, Lucas. The Sixers are 4 points per 100 better with VJ on the floor.
Mm-hmm.
The opponent's effective field goal percentage drops by 2% when he's out there. The defense is significantly better. The offense is pretty neutral, but it's really hard for rookies to come in and defend at a high level, even when they're known as quality defenders in college. So I said 3.8. VJ is 3.9. Maxey's 3.8. I have a quick quiz question for you, Lucas. Can you guess which Sixer is number 1 right now at plus 5.5 points per 100 possessions? As far as the Sixers are 5.5 points better per 100 with this player on the floor.
I'm going to guess VJ just because, you know.
I just told you he's 3.9, Lucas.
Oh, 3.9. Sorry. Dominic Barlow, then.
No, I'll give you one more guess. If you get it right, I'll give you 5 not real American dollars.
If it's not Dom Barlow, is it somebody that I guess Tyrese Maxey?
No, Lucas. I just told you Maxey was 3.8, but I'm glad
wait a second. Sorry. No, wait. Okay. I don't know who.
Jared McCain.
Oh, interesting.
Sixers are 5.5 points better with him on the floor. He has an expected wins added of 13. So maybe we can take it easy on Jared a little bit. I think some of that is situational because the defensive metrics do not paint the picture that we would expect. So I don't think that is maybe a perfect encapsulation of what
you did have
Jared
a block
in
this game against the Knicks.
What?
You did have a block.
Yeah, look, Jared's been probably better than we're giving him credit for just because the expectations were so high. Mm-hmm. He's still a good bench guard at the moment, at the very least. But yeah, so the real point of this conversation is that the Sixers are meaningfully better when VJ is on the floor. He's been a genuine impact winning player on what right now feels awfully like a contender.
Yeah, it does feel like that, yeah.
Which is, like I keep saying, not normal. It's pretty hard for rookies to contribute in that setting. Like Cooper is putting up awesome numbers. He's putting up better numbers, but Dallas is not winning. Con, kind of the same situation in Charlotte. I definitely think those are 2 winning players. So a lot of it is just situational. I don't think Charlotte would be winning games if they had VJ instead or anything like that. But it's really impressive what he's doing. Like, he's such a smart player. Mm-hmm. And with that level of athleticism, it's really special. And it's kind of hard not to get carried away with thinking what his upside might be. So
sorry, go ahead.
No, go for it.
I was just going to say I believe it was the Knicks game. Yeah. He had a block, and then he had the dunk afterwards. And you know what type of face he made? You know whose face that reminded me of whenever you make a big play? It reminded me of Jimmy's face. He had a Jimmy moment there where he had kind of like snarl a little bit. You know what I mean? And I like that. I like that little edge. But he's not
I've seen a lot of Jimmy comparisons floating around. I don't know if I quite agree.
He's a better, no, D-Wade is the comp, and D-Wade even admitted that. No, but look, there is an edge to him, and not just because it's in his last name, but there is an edge to him that I think is underrated and is being overshadowed because this team does have quite the cult of personality here. You got Podcast P, you have Troll, after this game, Troll made a comeback, which I loved all of it. And then Maxey
seems happy, which is nice.
He seems happy again.
It's been a while.
Right? Yeah. He's I looked at his metrics for December, his advanced metrics. He's defending better, not just the eye test, but the advanced metrics is his defensive rating per 100 and just box defensive plus is improving as the season's going on, and he's been playing. I think what is it now? 6 straight games after tonight. So look, he's rebounding more now, and if it doesn't feel like we're force feeding him, and we'll talk about All-Stars in a minute, but there's a case.
So do you still want to trade for Anthony Davis and put
No, I'm
Joel on the
good now.
bench?
I'm good now. I'm good.
Yeah, I mean, we kind of talked about it. Like, he just needed time to get into shape and to get into a rhythm.
And get confidence back in his body.
Yeah, I tried to be patient, and I didn't always like believe in my heart of hearts, but it's panning out. He's
So
looking really
far.
good so far.
So far.
Will it last for the next however many months? Who God only knows.
Look, if
But
we get this version of Joel and this version of the team, we're gonna be pretty hard out in the playoffs.
I would like to think so. All right, Lucas. Next game was a slight comeback down to earth moment for the Sixers. They hosted the Denver Nuggets without Nikola Jokic, without Jamal Murray, without Aaron Gordon. This was a severely without Cam Johnson. So a very limited Nuggets team. Their starting lineup was De'Ron Holmes, Spencer Jones, Bruce Brown, Jalen Pickett, and Peyton Watson. Peyton Watson played 44 minutes and scored 24 points. Jalen Pickett played 42 minutes and scored 29 points. Denver won 125-124 in overtime, despite 32 from Joel, 28 from Tyrese, 17 points, 2 steals, 2 blocks from VJ Edgecombe, 16 off the bench in this one for Quentin Grimes. What were your takeaways here?
You know how some good teams occasionally play down to their opponents, and we've been guilty of this in the past for the Sixers about 2 or 3 years ago. That's what happened here. I don't think we took them seriously because the only player that had in that starting five, actually in general, that's been a consistent rotation player in the NBA prior to this game was Bruce Brown. So the rest of these, Peyton Watson's been in and out. Jalen Pickett barely played. De'Ron Holmes didn't play last year at all because of injury. Spencer Jones, who's that? I didn't know who he was until that game. Zeke Naji has been an afterthought and probably one of the worst low salary signings extensions in recent NBA history that I can think of. He had 21, which was surprising because I don't believe in Zeke Naji at all. Julian Strother, yet again, in and out guy. Hunter Tyson, never even heard of him until today. Who's Curtis Jones? I don't know, but apparently he played 8 minutes. So, look, this was we didn't take them seriously, and they came out swinging because they wanted to prove something. And to be fair, yeah, the Nuggets team did just beat the Celtics tonight too, without Jokic and without. I mean, they had Murray and Braun, but they were still down a few pieces.
Jokic overrated?
No. Let's not
kidding.
do that.
I'm kidding. It was a Sixers joke.
So off brand for you.
Look, I feel like Nuggets fans give us enough, you know what, about Joel that I can make a joke. All right,
you can say crap. I think that's okay.
Well, I wasn't gonna say crap, Lucas.
Well, I know. But you that's a good substitute for what you were gonna say. But anyway,
this is a family-friendly, G-rated podcast about the 76ers. Okay,
is it G-rated? Because
maybe PG. Okay,
okay, PG is probably more accurate. Okay, that's fair.
All right, yeah, there's some innuendo maybe.
What innuendo? What? No.
Nuggets. Yeah, I agree. I think Denver really wanted to win and was especially motivated, and the Sixers were not. I think it's that simple. This is not a game that I'm losing much sleep over. I think Philly's late game execution can get a little dicey still. Tyrese is really not an iso ball guy, and when they slow down and try to run things through him in that way, it can get pretty messy.
And Joel's not an iso guy at this point in his career either.
Yeah, I think that is a fixable issue. I'm not going to worry about it at this point in the season where they're winning to the extent they have, which leads us into tonight's game, Lucas. We are recording on Wednesday, January 7th, and we are recording after a 131-110 victory over the Washington Wizards, who just made a trade we'll talk about later. Notably, no CJ McCollum on the floor tonight, and he won't be on the floor anytime soon.
Why. Well, not for the Wizards.
Yeah. 20 points for Trae Johnson, 18 apiece for Bilal Coulibaly and Bub Carrington, 15 points, 2 steals, and a block for Alex Sarr. Those were the Wizards' leaders. On Philly side of things, Lucas, 28 on 10 of 14 shooting for Joel, 7 of 8 from the line, 13 points, 5 steals, 6 rebounds, 7 assists for VJ Edgecombe, stuffing the stat sheet. 22 for Tyrese Maxey. 23. 5 assists, 2 steals, and a block. Paul George hit 4 threes in this one. 16 off the bench for Quentin Grimes. Kelly Oubre played 20 minutes. Didn't do much, but I'd like to have him back.
2 steals.
2 steals. Kelly's back. That's fun.
Drummond had a good game.
Trendon Watford also played in this game, so we're getting healthy. Look out.
We are healthy. What are you talking about? Everybody's playing.
I'm knocking on wood, but
yeah,
look, that's awesome. I mean, this was the Wizards are not a good team. I don't think we can take much away from
they
this
did
team.
just win a couple of games like in the last 10. They've won off a few, but yeah, I get what you're saying.
Yeah. They're not a good team. But yeah, look, I good win for the Sixers. They did what they were supposed to, which they did not do against Denver a couple nights ago. This was a really bad matchup for the Wizards, too, because they just don't have a Joel guy in the middle. Joel made pretty quick work of Alex Sarr in this game, had 28 in just 25 minutes, I might mention, which is nice. The only starters to play more than 30 minutes in this game were Paul George and VJ Edgecombe, the only players on the Sixers side of things. So they are going to...
I also want to note that Alex Sarr gave Joel the business at the beginning of the season, and it's nice to see the tables flipped on this one.
Yeah, Joel can move now, Alex, so watch out. Yeah, look, they are going to play VJ so many minutes this year, which is a nurse thing. And it's the same with Maxey.
I don't like it.
They're going to have to, ideally, at some point, spread the load a little bit. You would like to see Jerry McCain play more than 11 minutes in this particular setting, you know what I mean? But
yeah,
it is what it is. Sixers won handedly, and they are now 20-15 on the season, Lucas. So things are moving in the right direction. That puts them at 5th in the East. We're half a game ahead of Cleveland as of this recording. Game and a half behind Toronto, who has won 3 straight, but who's counting? Boston is the 3rd seed still. Why are they good? We can have that converzation another day.
I think you know why, but you don't want to admit that he's
annoying. I mean, we've already talked about it. Joe Mazzulla is a psychopath with witch powers.
It's not just that. You know.
Yeah, there's some other guy on the team that's like playing well or whatever. I don't even know his name. Some color. Like yellow or whatever. I don't know.
That's wild. Okay.
Red with the purple. Yeah, like Boston is the 3rd seed. Knicks are the 2 seed. We apparently have New York's number, which is super cool. Detroit is the 1 seed by a very, very comfortable margin at this point. Notably, of the top 6 teams that have a postseason slot locked up at the moment, Sixers have the worst point differential, so worth keeping tabs on. You know who has the best? Boston.
Dang.
Yeah. All right, Lucas. Are you ready to talk about some All-Star voting?
Yeah, let's talk about it, because there's definitely some things to talk about there.
All right, Lucas. I'm going to read off the top 5 vote getters in the Eastern Conference. Are you ready?
I'm ready as Freddy.
All right, number 1, Giannis with almost 2.1 million. Jalen Brunson is number 2 with 1.9 million. Number 3, Tyrese Maxey at 1.9.9. Yeah, I think that's not how that works. 1.9.
It's okay.
Cade Cunningham at 4, 1.75 million. And at 5 is Donovan Mitchell at 1.5 million. That Celtics guy is, I think, at number 6. So yeah, Maxey is 3rd, Lucas. Jalen Brunson has leaped him since the last voting cycle. He has about a 7 million vote lead at the moment. They're both really not as far behind Giannis as one might think, given Giannis' stature as like an international superstar. Seems like Maxey's going to be starting in the All-Star game. How are you feeling?
That's good. That's good. That's good. I think that's a fair starting 5. You know, It's a little small, but like you can get away with it. This is the All-Star game.
Yeah, I certainly don't want whoever is in the number 6 spot leapfrogging anyone.
Or 7.
Or 7. 7 right now is Cat with 898
Cat.
million. Can't even get, or 1,000, pardon me. Can't even get 1,000,000.
I do want to talk about some of these other guys that are on this list.
All right, I'll keep going down. 8, Jalen Johnson.
He should be higher.
9, Michael Porter, who's playing really well.
Yeah, despite his terrible podcast personality.
He's truly an insufferable human. 10, Pascal Siakam.
Yeah, that's a little surprising.
Okay.
Why?
I like Pascal. He's cool.
I guess, you need international players. Okay.
Yeah, Indy's obviously in a bit of a rut, but that's not his fault. Brandon Ingram is 11. 12.
He should not be the highest Toronto Raptor on this list.
Fair. 12, LaMelo Ball.
Mm-hmm.
13, Scotty Barnes. Or no, OG Anunoby.
Yeah,
241 million, huh? Sorry.
That's a little surprising. That's the New York market pushing that.
Yeah,
guys.
Jalen Brunson is not the real second vote getter. It's the New York bots that they're programming in Times Square or whatever. 14, Scotty Barnes. 15, Mikal Bridges. Fake news. 16, Josh Hart.
Fake news.
Wrong. 17, Joel Embiid. 206,461 votes.
So hot take.
I think most people were just convinced that he wasn't very good for a couple months, and now that he's playing, he just hasn't been playing this well long enough.
Yeah,
I think it's that simple.
I don't think he's going to get the fan vote. Could he get the player and the coaches vote? Possibly.
We'll see. The East is really kind of not the strongest.
So, like, hot take. Joel, now that he's starting to look like himself, is the best center in the East again.
Yeah, I mean, look, he's really good.
Yeah, I mean, and this is still not like peak Joel, by the way. Let's be clear. But he's still the best center in the East, and he should be starting the All-Star game if you're having a quote-unquote center.
I mean, like the games played argument is one that can be fairly weaponized against him, I guess. He's only played 17 games, so...
By the way, the only two Knicks on this list that actually have a case is Cat and Brunson, but I think they're both kind of too high. Jalen Johnson should be in the top. Should be a starter in the All-Star game. Hot take.
I agree.
Scotty Barnes should be higher than Brandon Ingram. Scotty Barnes had a 20 and 23 game and 10 assists.
I agree with that. Scotty's better.
Scotty's better.
I think Canada would get their priorities right.
You would think.
Yeah, look, Jalen at 2 is like fine or whatever. I think
that's fine. I get that. That's fine.
I think Maxey's been the better guard, but Brunson is still quite good.
I mean, New York's a bigger market. That's fine.
It's a coin flip. You could argue that Cade should be up there too.
Yeah, I mean, he's not far behind those guys.
No. Cleveland is the 7 seed as of this recording, or the 6 seed or whatever.
They don't have anybody in the top 17.
No, they have Donovan, who's at 5.
Oh, Donovan, that's right, yeah. That's it.
It's been a weird season for the Cavs. I have to imagine it will turn around at some point.
Will it turn around quick enough, though?
We'll see.
Question. Can we look at the West? Sorry, go ahead.
So I was just going to finish off. Norm Powell is at 8 with just under 200,000. Well, what?
You said 8.
I said 18.
No, you said 8.
Wrong.
I promise. No,
I'm sure there's no evidence recorded anywhere that has me saying the word 8. Okay, 19, Josh Giddey. 20.
That's okay.
Franz Wagner, who's been hurt.
Orlando's a weird one to try to figure out. Let's be clear. I don't know. They deserve one. I just don't know if it's Franz or Paolo.
It's Franz. It's Franz, if any of them.
Paolo's playing better now. He had a rough start to the season, but he's starting to figure things out.
I'm not even sure they totally deserve one, but Franz is so much better. I am so vindicated in my Franz over Paolo takes.
Okay, well, that's
my take on my own opinion.
Well, I will say that Paolo is not even close to the player that Jalen Johnson is. We thought Paolo would be Jalen Johnson, and we thought Ben Simmons would be Jalen Johnson. But that's not the case. We talked about Ben's back injury last time, right? The update on that. We don't need to go over that, right?
I think so.
Okay, cool. Can we look at the West here? Because the West is
Yeah,
interesting as well.
I'll read through them really quickly. Luka at 1 at 2.2 million. Nikola Jokic at 2 at 1.9, almost 2 million. 3 is Steph at 1.85 million. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander is 4 at 1.5. Victor Wembanyama is 5 at 1.3. Anthony Edwards 1.2. Denny Avdia at 7, 1.2. LeBron James at 8.
So much higher. I'm sorry.
What?
Denny should be higher
than any of those guys. No,
I think he should be higher than Ant.
All right, I don't know. LeBron is at 1 million. He's at 8. KD is at 9 at just under 1 million. 871,000 for Şengün, who is number 10. Reeves is 11. Harden is 12. Kawhi is 13. Anthony Davis is 14. Jamal Murray 15. Cooper Flag 16. Devin Booker 17. Larry Markkinen 18. Jimmy Butler 19. And Stefan Castle at 20.
Jimmy Butler should not be on this list. I'm sorry.
He plays for Golden State, and his name is Jimmy Butler.
This feels like Zaza Pachulia. That's this. Okay. Cooper Flag seems a little early on that. And Anthony Davis, I mean, if we're going to use games played against Joel, just saying. But look, I think Şengün should be higher than KD and LeBron. I think Denny should be higher than Ant Edwards. And as me saying that as an Ant Edwards fan, can we just talk about how good Denny is? Like, holy crap. The guy.
I'm pretty sure most stats would tell you that Ant is still better than Denny, but Denny's really good.
Denny impacts the game in so many different ways. And, like, we thought he was a bust after, like, the first year or two, but then he comes and figures out how to be a role player, and now he's like I think he deserves all NBA. Hot take. Maybe it's not hot. I don't know.
At the rate things are going, I don't think it's a super hot take. We'll see if he can keep it up, but he's probably going to be an all-star. Definitely going to be an all-star, so...
Yeah.
He's been awesome. I would still take Ant and those other guys before him. I think 7 is a pretty good spot for Denny at this point.
That's fair.
Yeah, LeBron was kind of lagging behind in the first round of votes. He's catching up pretty quickly. He's LeBron. He's going to probably finish top 5.
But he didn't even want to do All-Star last year. Why should he do it this year? I'm sorry. Like, if you reject an All-Star invitation when you are healthy, you shouldn't be allowed to do it again.
I feel like once you're LeBron and you're 40 plus, you can get away with it.
I don't know. Well, anyways,
if Ant at 26 was saying, I don't want to play, that'd be a little different. But yeah, so Maxey is clearly going to be an all-star, probably an all-star starter, almost certainly. Joel, I don't think it's going to happen, but
it should, but it won't. Probably
you can make an argument. Again, it's tough. He's only played 17 games.
Well, the nice thing is you have the international team this year, and he can make that team.
Yeah, I forgot about that. That'll be super fun.
That doesn't make any sense to me, but whatever.
Yeah, they're trying their best. They're like fixing something that is sort of broken, but not that broken.
My suggestion for this, Chris, is just make it like baseball, where whoever wins whichever East-West, whoever wins the All-Star game gets to host the NBA Finals, gets the home court advantage. I think that fits.
I don't know. I think they can just play a game and try hard if they really want to.
They stopped trying hard after Kobe stopped doing All-Star, just saying.
Maybe they need VJ to come in and play his tail off. VJ will save it. Give him a couple years, and we'll be in the driver's seat. All right, Lucas. Are you ready to give out some Sixers New Year's resolutions?
Sure.
All right. What do you have? I really didn't plan very well for this, so we're...
Yeah, I'm kind of...
I feel like we're both...
I'm not 100% sure. New Year's resolution for the Philadelphia 76ers. I guess I'll go with the fact that they need to make sure that... Nick Nurse figures out his end-of-game execution.
Yeah, I was gonna say that.
Well, then you can say that. I'll say the other thing that I was thinking of.
Okay.
Um,
We can throw a
don't
few
play.
out. We don't need to
Don't
limit
play
ourselves.
VJ more than 35 minutes in a game.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, there are going to be times where it's okay. Just don't play him 40 minutes a night, every night.
Yeah, don't do that. And sign Dominic Barlow to a long-term deal.
We didn't really talk about Marjan Beauchamp,
Oh yeah,
who
they did sign him to a two-way. They
our two-way
waived
contract. They
Hunter Silas and
Hunter Solis is out.
yeah.
I don't really know how I feel about that. Apparently,
Mar-
Beauchamp was playing really well in like
he's a
some other
former first-round
competition.
pick. You got to give him a shot when you're
Yeah,
former.
I forget the exact report, but there was some sentiment in league offices and elsewhere that he was looking really good and deserved a spot somewhere. So I'm willing to accept it.
Yeah,
I
look, it's a
liked
two-way. Yeah.
I liked Salas well enough, but he really didn't have a future on this team. They kind of need wings more desperately at the moment, so I
I mean,
understand it.
Marchand Champ is still guard-ish. He's like 6'5", 6'6", I think, right?
Yeah, he's like he's more of a wing, I think, than Salas, but they're really not that different height wise. Yeah, so I think late game execution is a good one. I think playing VJ less is a good one. I still would like, in my heart of hearts, to see more of Jared McCain.
Yeah, that's
So
fair.
if we can bump Jared's numbers up a little bit in the new year, I would really appreciate that.
And just
Uh,
to put this into perspective, last time I checked, which was a little over a week ago, um, McCain and Grimes have this similar efficiency number. So it's not like, oh, well, Grimes is so much more efficient. No, he's not. He's actually having a very bad efficiency year. But
Again, number one in point differential on the Sixers, Jared McCain.
yeah,
I think McCain is going to be better than Quentin Grimes.
I think
I
so
think he's
too.
better. That's
Yeah,
my take. That's my hot take. My New Year's hot take.
you could
Jared
still
McCain
trade. You
better.
could if Grimes agrees to it, you could still trade him. I don't think you need to.
Yeah, I don't think you need to. I think Grimes is still good. I think he might be slightly overrated by some Sixer fans. Is
Yeah,
my interpretation of the current Quentin Grimes perception. I forget the exact context. I think it was on a video I recorded for our TikTok where I was like, "Hey, we need to play Jared McCain more," and someone was like, basically, "No, Quentin Grimes is awesome. He's the second coming of Jesus Christ, and he's going to lead the Sixers to the finals." And I was like, "All right, guys, I don't know if Quentin Grimes is as good as we think he is. He's
yeah.
good, but he's not like that good, you know." That's my take on the situation, anyways. But yeah, do you have anything else, Lucas?
No, I'm ready to get to around the NBA because there's a trade that happened
Yeah,
that we just need to talk about.
I used it twice. All right, Trae Young, Lucas, as a member of the Washington Wizards, C.J. McCollum and Corey Kispert were sent back to the Atlanta Hawks. Trae reportedly wanted to be a Wizard. That was his preferred destination.
That's wild.
No
Okay, so
picks, no picks involved. The Wizards are currently 10 and let's see here, 10 and 26. Lucas,
mm-hmm,
they are fourth in the lottery standings.
mm-hmm.
Their pick is top 8 protected to the New York Knicks. Worth noting, there's currently 3.5 games separating them from the 8th place Clippers in the lottery standings. So I think they are counting on Trae Young not winning them very many games.
I think at this point, does it really? I was listening to Bobby Marks about breaking down the potential of this trade on the way home today, before it happened. And basically, Bobby was just like, "Look, they're not going to get a great free agent under the age of 30. There's not any great ones in the market right now, and this is like you're not really giving up any assets in terms of picks. So basically, this is your free agent move." And I don't hate it if that's
No,
the mindset. Like, look, Trae Young is still only 27, 28 years old. Um, He's a 20-10 guy. Is he the most efficient? No. Does he have defensive issues? Yeah, but you can cover that up with Sar and Koulibaly and other rotational guys. Um, I don't hate the move. Like there's no picks, and honestly, I think that's the way to go because you're giving up. Corey Kispert is not like a young guy, but he's in his prime. He's a good 3-point shooter, which is what the Hawks need is more floor spacing. And CJ McCollum is like a little bit bigger, not as much of a defensive liability, but also doesn't like dominate the ball as much as Trae does, which fits into more of what this Hawks team needs, right? So I think it's a win-win for like the Wizards. Like you're not going to get a better free agent than Trae Young, and like he still could be a part of this unit. If nothing else, like he can, help you win games until like he hits his 30s and like either you move on or he becomes like the third or fourth option on this team. Um, I like the idea of him and Alex R doing pick and rolls. Koulibaly, like I said, can play defense. Trey Johnson can light it up from anywhere on the court pretty much now. They have some interesting pieces. They're probably not going to win enough games this year, but I don't look. If they don't keep their pick, I don't think they're worried about it, or else they wouldn't do the trade, right?
I think they should be worried about it because a top 4 pick in this draft is really valuable.
But their pick is top 8 protected, not top 4.
Yeah, but if they continued at their current pace, they would be in good position to be in the top 4 or 5, which is a really valuable hotspot right now. And even the top 8 is like really strong.
I get that.
If they finished like 10th and gave the 10th pick to the Knicks, on top of just being really crappy for us as Sixer fans, I think that would be kind of a tough beat. But I mostly otherwise agree with you. Like it's great value for Washington. This is an awesome trade just in terms of strict value. I know Trae's had kind of a down year, but he's still in his mid-20s. He's like in the prime of his career. He's taken a team to the conference finals. He's going to make life a lot easier on some of the young guys in Washington. I think Alex Sarr can really benefit from Trae being there specifically. I think offensively, him and Trae Johnson is a really fun combo. Maybe not so much on defense, but again, they really don't need to be trying to win games this year. Trae has a player option for next year, so he will probably be back, I would guess. They could extend him. I don't know if Trae is getting max money anymore. But
probably not.
I have a feeling that Trae is going to stick around. That seems to be the tenor of the reporting, that he wants to be there and they want to build around him. So it's definitely a better spot for Trae individually. I think it's just straight up, if you can turn CJ McCollum's expiring contract and like your 8th best player into Trae Young, even at this point, you have to do it.
Yeah.
From Atlanta, like they're just straight up better right now when Trae's not on the floor. It's been the case all year. Even if it's not a value add, I think it's just kind of removes a headache from
and it opens up their books
locker room
after this year too.
Yeah, so cap flexibility, they're already really good without Trae. CJ and Kispert can both help in their own ways. I think the trade makes sense for both sides. It is a little sad that this is what Trae's value is now, considering how good he was.
I think this is just
he's in his mid-20s still. Like it's a pretty swift fall.
I don't think that's the issue. I think the issue, and not even his inefficiency. I think the issue is the new salary cap rules. The second apron makes like guys like Trae Young might not get max contracts anymore. Like in the next couple of years, there are going to be some guys that are going to get hardballed hard in salary negotiations because guess what? The NBA teams can't afford to go into the second apron for these max guys anymore. Like, you're going to see a lot less max contracts, and I think you're going to see a lot more stars willing to take less than the max in order to make sure that you have, like, a decent team around you. Because pretty much if you go more than 2 max contracts, you're basically screwed. Even more than one max contract puts you into a pretty rough spot.
Yeah. I agree. Yeah, that's definitely part of it. It makes sense for both sides. Atlanta probably should have traded Trae a couple of years ago. Hindsight's 2020, but it makes sense. It's a little weird for Washington to be making this move at this particular point, but like we've both said, it's kind of an undeniably smart value move. So good for them, I guess. Is there anything else you want to talk about, Lucas?
I mean, so like in the East, who do we actually have to take seriously? I think we take Detroit seriously, not New York, not Boston. I think Toronto gives us a pretty tough matchup.
You're talking about like us?
Oh yes, that's the Sixers. Yeah, the Sixers.
I think you still have to take New York seriously in a like 7-game series. I don't think that's a lock that we win. You know, I don't think we can quite get there yet. I think we still have to take most teams seriously. Again, we have the worst point differential of the top 6. Like, we're the 5th, 6th best team in the East right now at best. Mm-hmm. It's not like we can sit here and say we're going to steamroll any of these guys. I think you have to take Detroit the most seriously. I'd probably take Boston. I'd be a little bit more scared of Boston just because of my own personal trauma as a fan than New York, but I'm not that we have great memories of New York at the moment, so
I think Toronto is a problem for us. I think Toronto is a problem for us because what I've noticed is teams that are really big, like with really big guards like Detroit and Toronto and now Atlanta, they can, and even Chicago to a lesser extent, like way lesser extent, but like teams with big guards that can give Maxey and VJ, especially Maxey, some problems defensively, offensively.
Yeah.
I think those are the teams that we really got to, because like Maxey does pretty good against Boston. Maxey does really good against the Knicks. Cleveland, I expect like zero pushback when we're healthy. We weren't healthy the last time we played them, if I remember correctly. Miami, I don't think we've played them yet, so I can't even say about Miami. Orlando, do we play them? I feel like we played them once, but I know we weren't healthy. Yeah. So like,
I think Orlando. I think you're right. I think Orlando matches up pretty well with us. I think Detroit does as well. I think Boston does.
I don't think Boston does, but okay.
Boston has the guards to kind of pester us on the perimeter.
Joel might be
such a ridiculous offense that they're just going to cause problems. But I think we have the matchup advantage over New York for sure.
Yeah. Well, Toronto, I think they're a problem for us.
I agree, and I think the inverse is true. I think we are a problem for the Knicks.
Yeah. Yeah.
Not saying we would for sure beat the Knicks in a 7-game series, but Jalen is going to have a tough time hiding on defense in a 7-game series against a healthy version of the Sixers team. Cat is going to have a really bad time guarding Joel. So I do think we have the advantage over the Knicks. In a way, we might not have it over Boston, and we probably don't have it, like you're saying, over Toronto or Detroit, or even Orlando. Miami is just like, I don't want to play Eric Spoelstra in the playoffs.
Yeah, and Davion Mitchell is a really good defensive guard.
I think we're better than Miami on paper, but who knows with that team. Atlanta, we'll see what happens. Chicago, I'm not scared of. Milwaukee, we'll see what happens, but they don't really worry me. The rest of the East is pretty much out of it.
By the way, I do want to note that with the Trae Young trade, that takes 1 out of like 3 disgruntled point guards off the market now. You only really have Ja Morant or like LaMelo Ball to look at, and there's no guarantee either one of those guys are going to get moved because they've both been playing better as of late.
Is LaMelo really disgruntled? I don't fully buy that he's upset. I don't think Ja is like would love to get out of Memphis. I don't think it's going to happen, like you said, because I don't think anyone wants Ja Morant right now. But
I do want to also note that Pelicans, they have Jeremiah Fears. Somebody's about to come back from injury. What's his name? Murray. DeJounte Murray. There's not really a place for him there. I could see them trying to shop him. Who goes for him? How much is he making?
Not that much.
Hang on.
I got it right here.
Well, no, I want to. There's a team that I think actually would be a decent fit for him. I just want to see if it's feasible.
He's making $38.8 million.
Ooh, no, I don't think that team's going to be able to trade for him. I was thinking of him to the Timberwolves.
Yeah, it's going to be tough. I really just don't think DeJounte is that good, too. Like, I think he's not as good as his contract would suggest. I think he was massively overrated at the time.
You'd have to trade, like, Naz Reid and Mike Conley for DeJounte Murray, and I don't know if I do that.
I'm not doing that. Yeah. Yeah, it's tough. I think in New Orleans, it's like, in their case, they aren't really trying to win this year. I mean, I guess they are, but they're not going to win anything this year, so it takes some of the pressure off. I'm sure DeJounte will probably start at some point, but you still play Fears a lot. You let him close games. I don't think it's too big of a concern. The whole Jordan Poole thing, they'll figure it out. They'll find ways to play Fears, but
I can't believe Jordan Poole is making $31 million a year. That is wild. They are not getting off that contract.
The Wizards basically went from Jordan Poole to CJ McCollum to Trae Young, which is a good, really impressive GMing. The Wizards front office all summer, really into the winter, has been really like knocking it out of the park. Mm-hmm. They're making good moves, objectively. So,
and and you could argue the Pelicans, going back to them for a second, they have 3 of the worst contracts on their books. Zion at 39, Jordan at 31, and DeJounte at 30. Like, that's just horrendous. You're not going, like, I don't even know how you get off of any of those.
All right. This is how we're going to end the pod, Lucas.
Okay, how are we going to end the pod?
I'm going to read off the 4 fake trades I pitched in my article.
Okay.
And you're going to tell me your thoughts. You're going to grade it.
Is it any particular team or just general?
These are 4 trades encompassing a variety of teams.
Okay. All right, let's go for it.
Dillon Brooks, Grayson Allen, and a 2026 first-round pick to the Pelicans for Zion Williamson.
No way.
Okay.
No, I look, I just...
Dillon Brooks is the most empty calories guy in the league.
They're winning. They're 7th in the East, which I think is better.
They're not winning because of Dillon Brooks. All right.
Okay.
They're winning because of Devin Booker. All right.
Devin Booker's having a terrible year by his standards.
He's still their best player. Zion is still significantly better than Dillon Brooks when he's healthy.
I just don't think.
That's my take. That's a fair point. But, all right, Julius Randle, Mike Conley. I was having a little bit of fun with these, to be clear. Mm-hmm. Julius Randle, Mike Conley, and Rob Dillingham go to the Charlotte Hornets for LaMelo Ball and Liam McNeely.
I take the call, but I probably say no.
I think that's fair.
Like,
I think it's really interesting. I doubt it gets done.
I just don't think, like, first off, Julius, what does he do for you? Like, none of those things, Charlotte, like, none of those things do anything.
You just try to flip him again.
I guess, but LaMelo, is that really going to help? Like, Julius does a lot of good things for Minnesota. I just don't think they translate well to Charlotte. And I don't think what LaMelo does would really, like, losing Julius Randle is actually kind of big for the Timberwolves at this point.
I agree. I think you could argue that LaMelo would make up for that and be really fun. But I think you're right in that it doesn't happen.
Yeah.
All right. Chicago receives Austin Reeves and Rui Hachimura. The Brooklyn Nets receive Josh Giddey, Maxi Kleber, and a 2026 first-round pick from the Bulls. And the Los Angeles Lakers receive Michael Porter Jr., Jalen Wilson, and Julian Phillips.
No.
No? For who?
The Lakers. I don't think. I don't think. Michael Porter Jr. is playing his mind out, but like, is Michael Porter Jr. worth all that? Like, losing those. I mean, mainly Austin Reeves, but like, I don't think he's that much of an upgrade over Reeves.
Fair.
To the point to.
I think it's like a fit thing. It's like, do you think he's a better number 2 next to Luka than Reeves?
I say no.
Build a better defense.
I'm worried about like his back long term.
I guess I'm worried that Reeves and Luka just cannot defend well enough to support a winning team.
That's
at the
fair,
highest level.
But like Michael Porter Jr. was the weak link of that defense in Denver.
But he's not in Brooklyn right now. He's playing pretty hard.
That's because they have a really unique defense where they just decided to go as big as they possibly can.
That's fair. I definitely think Jordi Fernandez is an awesome coach.
Yeah, and like JJ, it's not like helpful. JJ's not, but like defense is not his forte.
JJ is having a really tough time lately. Every press conference, he just looks so sad. I feel for
you
him.
have the coach, you have the coach.
The defense is rough.
Yeah.
All right, so Lakers say no. Bulls, I think, pretty obviously say yes to Josh Giddey and a pick for Austin Reeves.
Yeah.
And Rui.
Yeah.
Does Brooklyn say yes to Josh Giddey, Kleba, and a first-round pick for Porter?
I think you can get 2 first-round picks for Porter right now.
Maybe.
That's a tough one. I don't know. Plus, you already have a Josh Giddey on your team. You have Igor Demon.
Yeah, that's a little bit kind to Yegor at the moment.
But
conceptually, you're correct.
Conceptually, yeah.
But Yegor is like just a spot-up shooter right now.
Yeah.
All right.
The goal is for him to become that, but yeah.
Well, that was part of my thinking is like Brooklyn clearly likes this exact kind of player, so maybe you could trick him into it.
Someone's going to overpay for Michael Porter Jr., and I'm interested to see who.
Me as well. All right, last one. We'll finish the pod here. The Atlanta Hawks send Kristaps Porzingis, Zachary Richache, and Luke Kennard to the Dallas Mavericks for Anthony Davis and Najee Marshall. This could actually happen tomorrow.
I don't know if it's Najee Marshall as that final piece, but I think it's actually D'Lo. Hot take. I think it's D'Lo.
Maybe.
They don't want D'Lo. They want to get rid of D'Lo. I could see that being the case.
Yeah, maybe.
Like here's another form of that trade: Anthony Davis and D'Lo for Kristaps Porzingis and CJ McCollum.
I guess. I think I would prefer Richache.
I mean, that's fair, but I don't think the Hawks want to necessarily move off of him yet.
It seems like they're willing to.
I think they're willing to.
The smoke is pretty noticeable.
I mean, I'm not saying that there isn't smoke, but I mean, if you can veer left and try to, the only thing is I don't know if you can trade CJ with another player at this point.
Maybe not. I think if you're Dallas, you definitely want to get Richache.
That's fair, because CJ and Kyrie would be a wonky defensive fit.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's.
I mean, look, it is what it is. You're not going to get that much for AD at this point, as the Trae Young trade just proved. So, Porzingis is a big expiring contract, and he's still really good. Like Atlanta,
he just needs to figure
much
out
better when he's out there.
What you call it? He has
whatever illness he has.
I just talked to check out. We just did an episode on Porzingis and Chris Bosh on NBA Now and Then, the greatest comparisons, and I said it 20 times what he had. It was like a blood thing. I can't remember what it was called, but it's gonna come to me after the pod.
Yeah, it's a very strange thing, but he's been really good still when he's been out there. I was not the biggest Richache guy. Seems like maybe the Hawks aren't anymore right now, but he's still going to be a solid player, I think.
Look, you used him only as a D&3 guy. Do you expect him to become a superstar because he's just a 3-and-D guy in his second season?
I think we all knew he was a bad first-round pick in the sense that whole draft was pretty bad.
I mean,
was he the wrong pick? Absolutely. I could have told you 10 other guys they should have taken instead. But I think he's still a good young player. He played pretty well down the stretch last year. I really started to come around. So I am kind of maybe more of a believer than a lot of folks now, ironically. So I think if you're Dallas and you can get Richache and Porzingis and Kennard, who's a pretty darn good bench guard still, it's pretty good business. I think Kennard would help Cooper a lot,
but
honestly.
Do they want Porzingis because they traded him away like a couple years ago.
Who cares? That's all. Luka's not there anymore. You don't have to worry about all that.
But Jason Kidd is still there, and didn't Jason Kidd, wasn't he the one that jettisoned?
Who cares? You're gonna have to trade Porzingis to get AD, and if you want to get off of AD's contract,
I mean, I guess
Porzingis is a good way to get off that money. If you want to try to reroute him to like a third team or whatever.
I mean, he's on last year, so you could just buy him out.
Yeah, that's fine. But like Lively's hurt, they could really use him. Like he's a good player. He'd be a cool fit next to Cooper. Like just Mim Bridges, I think, if you have to. But I don't think Kristaps has a ton of leverage in this situation. So
he has zero. Yeah, no.
He just kind of has to take it if he's upset. So yeah, all right. That's all I've got for you.
Yeah.
As always, everyone, thank you for tuning in to another episode of the Sixers Sense podcast. Please like, subscribe, follow along if you can. We're on Twitter at Sixers Sense. I'm at Kline NBA. Lucas is at Coach J_20. You can find us on TikTok. You can listen to the pod on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and all that fun stuff. You can watch us at youtube.com. And until next time, go Sixers. Happy New Year's. We'll talk soon.